London and Paris are without a doubt world football's two biggest talent factories, especially the low-income areas of South London and Paris' famous banlieues. For proof of that, just look at these two maps showing some of the incredible players who grew up in these cities, and bear in mind that this is only current players, so it doesn't even include legends that grew up in the cities such as Thierry Henry and Frank Lampard. So why are these cities so prolific at producing world-class talent? There are a number of factors. For example, the infrastructure and level of coaching in these cities is arguably higher than anywhere else in the world, with a huge amount of pitches available for young players to play on and no shortage of teams to join. But there are plenty of other cities that also have these same things, such as Berlin, Rome, and Madrid. So what is it that sets London and Paris apart? The answer is immigration, because both London and Paris have a huge amount of people who originate from sub-Saharan Africa. London also has a very large Caribbean community, while Paris has an enormous population of Arabic people. You'll notice that most of the players listed earlier did find their ethnic heritages from these sort of places. And this is what makes London and Paris so special. It's the melting pot of all of these different footballing cultures coming together. The flair and trickery associated with African and Caribbean players meets the high level of coaching that isn't available in those places, and then you combine that with the intense discipline and tactical nous that is revered by Western coaches, and it produces some phenomenally talented, well-coached and well-rounded footballers. There's also the factor of how these players actually grew up playing football, because in the low-income areas such as South London and the banlieues of Paris, the games are often informal, played on really small pitches with only a few players per team, or even just on the side of a road. So when the game is played in such tight spaces like this, it encourages immense dribbling, flair and technical ability, because you really need that when you're playing in the tight spaces, and that is what produces the attributes in these players that we see today. So when players such as Kylian Mbappe, Ousmane Dembele, Bukayo Saka, Ebery Eze and tons more, when they grew up playing these kinds of games, it's absolutely no surprise that they became the types of players they did, because that is how they were moulded as they were growing up. So there you have it. That is why London and Paris are the greatest cities on earth at cultivating talent. But the real question is, who would win in a London versus Paris match? I don't know, but it would be an unbelievable game.